Mnangagwa, summoned by SADC amid flawed election. And we're also going to look at Hubert Angel and Chief Charumbira fired from Pan-African Parliament. Everything that is going on in Africa right now, it's a clean up campaign. Muramba China is that time where we sweep up the messes. So here we are, guys. Just tell me where you're watching us from. Drop your location because I need to send you some shout out. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in on our late night show here on Ruby and Senzad. I am so excited, and thank you guys for coming through. I just want you to know that we're going to have a great time here on Ruby and Senzad. All right, so we are looking at very interesting stories tonight. Right. Good news. These are the news you guys have been waiting for. To hear what's going on with SADC. There's going to be an urgent meeting that should be held between September and October, just to make sure that we iron out the nonsense that's going down in Zimbabwe for good. Yeah, finally, where are you watching us from? Thank you guys for coming through, and I just want to send you some shout out. Leadberry. All right, here you are. Thank you guys for coming through. So we're definitely looking at two stories that are actually hitting up tonight. My apologies, guys. Let me drink some water further. Okay, Botswana is right here. Shout out everybody. Please don't forget to like the live because we need to push the algorithm. I'm going to start right here because I need to send you some hope. So President Nelson Chamisa tweeted today. Marondera. Hi, Anisu. You're welcome. All right. So he said, hope can't be lost. Let's start right here. Hope can never be lost, y'all. You need to keep hopeful. Can never be lost. The devil does not come except to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That's President Nelson Chamisa there for Citizen Coalition for Change. I have come that you may have life and that you may have it more abundantly. John chapter 10, verse 10. Jesus Christ is our hope of glory. My apologies. God is in it. Hashtag. Keep strong. Blessed Sabbath, beloved. That's President Nelson Chamisa for Citizen Coalition for Change. Like I said to you guys, I brought you nothing but good news. I could not sleep with this because I knew it's so important. I know most of you, you're desperate to know what's going down in Zim. But as I say to you guys, ZANU-PF is not having it. Is fighting why there's supposed to be an urgent meeting to resolve a flawed election in Zim. But unfortunately, it has to happen because you threatened Dr. Mumba and you went further again to threaten Hichilema. What more are you expecting? There should be a rerun. So Hubert Angel and Charumbira fired from Pan-African Parliament. Yeah, I'm not having no hatred at all. I love both. But if they aren't doing the right thing in Parliament, the Parliament has the right to fire them. All right. So Joseph Kalimba sent out this message. He said, the conscience of Chief Charumbira's expulsion from Pan-African Parliament with SADC News report the coincidence. Hear this. And this is exactly what I've been saying. The coincidence of Chief Charumbira's expulsion from Pan-African Parliament with SADC News report on Zim election is a devastating testament on the caliber of leadership in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe is seen as a destabilizing force on the continent because of leaders who lack ethics. And I've told you that the fact that now Chief Charumbira is out, Hubert Angel is out, is a sign that we're on our way to freedom. Zimbabwe is going to be a great country soon, all right, very, very soon. So I want you guys to know that finally, that time you guys have been crying for is here. So there is an article that I want to go through right now that I think is such an important article because that's where all of you are. One of the letters circulating about the UN General congratulating. No, don't worry about that. Remember, there's a people that are cooking letters. Shh, relax. Let's focus on where we are now. People are cooking letters out there so that at least you will think that something is happening. Nothing is happening. Nothing. What we are face to face with, that ZANU-PF is going nuts on Twitter right now, is this story that we are busy dealing with, where Mr. Mnangagwa has been summoned by SADC. There's going to be an urgent meeting scheduled between the September and October 2023. And George Charamba, Nick Mangwana, and all ZANU-PF supporters are not having it on Twitter. They are not having it. I'm going to read some of their comments. They are not having it. As a matter of fact, some are even threatening other people. But I wanted to give you a foundation of why we are where we are now. Because it's one thing for us to complain about the Zimbabwean situation, but it's very important for us to keep on reminding each other so that we must never divorce our past, because our past influences the changes and the decisions we are making right now. Now, there's an article that has been written. This article is definitely picking up all the issues that happened in 2008. So the article was written by Beauty Dlamini. I'm going to read this article for you. So she said, how hope dies with every election in Zimbabwe. We all know that it is becoming a ritual having elections in Zimbabwe. Oh, we're going to have election, but nothing will happen, right? We have the election, but nothing will happen. But I'm going to read. She said, people died. The fear of being asked whether you wanted a short or long sleeve cut, cutting your hand or your arm, right? By soldiers made people vote in fear, not with their heads. We are voting with our lives on the line. This is what my maternal aunt told me following the July 2013 elections, as we sat in the back of my daddy's infamous barky, making our way back to Botswana from Zimbabwe, where she lives. Like the majority of family, we are all refugees living in exile in foreign lands. We have been forced to make our homes. We have been forced to make our homes. This was the last time I had visited Zimbabwe. I had taken a road trip from Namibia, where I grew up and some of my family still lived. Visiting and picking up other family members along the way, I was heartbroken at what I had returned to. The country was sparse, and the political and economic turmoil was reflected back in the country's crumbling physical structures and in the faces of its people. Even though the 2013 elections had evaded the levels of state-ordered violence and plagued the 2008 general elections, including intimidation, tactics, killings, media bias, and censorship, forced exile for opposition members, torture, camps, and gender-based violence. The outcome was effectively the same. Robert Mugabe was still in power, and the people of Zimbabwe were still living under oppressive regime. It is so easy to blame Zimbabweans for not fighting back, especially as sheltered members of the diaspora who are at a distance from the state's violence. Instead, our role should be to organize around the resistance of the people on the ground. Short-lived hope. My family are South African, but our ties to Zimbabwe can be traced back to our displacement. Pre and post South Africa's apartheid as refugees, our presence was marked by the colonial conquest of the British in Zimbabwe, namely Cecil Rhodes, and his need to control the uprising against him. But we were always hopeful for a better future in a free, democratic, futuristic Zimbabwe. We survived and thrived in Zimbabwe in our small community of Xhosa people and made a home for ourselves. However, this was very short-lived. By the time Zimbabwe had gained independence in 1980, Mugabe had already set a precedent for people like my family within the country. Strong ethnic tensions were fostered following the majority Shona people and minority Ndebele Kalanga minority groups, which Mugabe and the ruling party that came into power, Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, ZANU-PF, exploited to orchestrate one of the largest and most devastating genocides in the Southern Africa, the Gukrahundi part. Known as Gukrahundi, more than 20,000 people were brutally killed between 1983 and 1987. By the way, I was born in 1983, and in 1983, my aunt used to tell me what we went through. Yo, I was born in the very same year where Robert Mugabe and his bodies were busy killing innocent civilians. So thousands of people were randomly killed, tortured, and abducted. Women were raped and homes destroyed. My paternal aunt was shot in front of my family simply because of an accusation made against her, claiming she tried to poison soldiers, despite there never being any evidence to support these accusations. Like most of the people during the 80s, the majority were in group of the ruling party, Shona, Wendebele, even if they weren't like us. That was the ethnic group you adopted and became. It did not help that we lived in a city where the ruling party had a stronghold. So on top of not being Shona, we were also not Ndebele. So we were minority within a minority, my daddy tells me. Most of the victims were shot in public executions, often after being forced to dig their own graves in front of the family and fellow villagers. One of the soldiers bought biscuits from my aunt's shop, biscuits that all of us had been eating all day. A few days later, he passed away, and the soldiers came and raided her shop. Despite her protests, they dragged her out into the street. They made her dig her own grave and shot her right in front of us. He continues. None of the rest of my family members or our neighbors died from eating those biscuits, but a large part of them died watching the killings of my aunt in cold blood. No apology or acknowledgement has ever been issued for this, only Mugabe declaring it as a systematic oppression. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? I learned from my grandmother that these bouts of violence did not just stop with Gukurahundi, but continued in systematic ways to oppress them. As many people were rendered stateless, this means that they struggled to access housing, healthcare, and education in Zimbabwe, violating their rights under the Constitution and human rights treaties. Gukurahundi was not the first or the last minority ethnic groups suffered in Zimbabwe, but were the main people to bear the brunt of violence during the elections. In 2005, the government started a campaign known as Operation Rambachina, which means removing the rubbish, and the rubbish being people like us, our family. They say 700,000 of us were forcefully removed from our homes, but we know it was more. People like us who were cast aside as the poor in urban and rural areas, but really who stood against the administration in the elections that occurred merely months before this was punished, she tells me. So, Murambachina, I still remember Murambachina, right? For those, if you were still yet to be born, sorry, but for those that were born, like I witnessed Murambachina. People were homeless, houses were being destroyed. Zimbabwe's current president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, came to power through a military coup in 2017 that forcibly unseated Robert Mugabe, who had been in power for nearly 4 decades. However, many Zimbabweans already knew that his rise to power was not a chance for real democracy and economic reform. Rather, it was a result of infighting and desperate attempts to climb onto power. Like many people at the time, my uncle left South Africa during apartheid and moved to Zimbabwe for a better life. He fought as a guerrilla soldier during the Zimbabwean War of Independence. This explains to me the 2018 elections had the potential to be the first real election Zimbabweans have ever had since Mugabe came to power in the 1980s. But Mnangagwa was his right-hand man. Sorry, my bad. So they were sides of the same coin. How could you expect a free and fair election from a same man in Mugabe's cabinet who is known to have orchestrated and executed Gukurahundi? You think he was going to accommodate free and fair election? Definitely not. So election rigging began. They rigged that election 2008. As with every election since Zimbabwe's independence in the 1980s, ZANU-PF has perfected the system of rigging. The majority of the election cycles since then have been mud with accusations, and most Zimbabweans who have memorized the entire process, including that the result will and have always been rigged. And surprisingly, nothing changed in the 2023 elections. When I called my cousin, who still lives there, her response only reminded me of how weary people were during such events. I'm not even bothering to go back and vote because of what we are hearing. Where we live in Bulawayo, some of the polling stations were not opened, whether they said they would be. My friends are telling me that there are no ballot papers, or they are delaying when they arrive so many people who leave and not coming back. Can you imagine there were some ballots that did not even include the names of opposition candidates? What is the point of voting? What is the point of it Oh, really? So this is evidenced by reports from activists and news reporters on the ground, like Hope watching on. Conveniently, there are only punctual deliveries of ballot papers in ZANU-PF strongholds. Yes, strongholds. The rural areas, ballot papers were there on time. But I'm going to go back there. Let me just finish here. Strongholds and across the country, soldiers are waiting outside polling stations to take names and IDs of people voting. That's FAS, quote unquote, ZANU-PF's project. FAS. Proving just how undemocratic these elections have been, the police have been shutting down rallies for the opposition party, the Citizen Coalition for Change, Triple C, and arrest many of its supporters. As if to legitimize the rigging, the current Zimbabwean government recently signed a new law, the Patriotic Bill, that could result in the death penalty for Zimbabweans deemed to have betrayed the national interest. Which unsurprisingly has caused further suppression of any dissent from the current ruling regime. On 26th of August, my father and I followed the announcement with bated breaths, updating each other every hour over WhatsApp as rumors had emerged from the family members that the results were to be released. Later on in the evening, it's not in the evening, it's in the middle of the night, the explosion of our family group chat confirmed our worst but predictable nightmare. Mnangagwa had been re-elected for a second term with 52.6. His main challenger, Nelson Chamisa, lost at 44%, according to official results announced by the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission. The issue is very clearly a systematic one, and the Electoral Commission endorsing these results show its complicity as it refers to listen to reform suggestions across the political spectrum. Like the majority of the country, including the opposition party, I do not accept these results. I don't either. Are you? Definitely not. State hostages. It is easy to blame Zimbabweans for not fighting back, especially as sheltered members of the diaspora who are at a distance from the state's violence. Instead, our role should be to organize around the resistance of the people on the ground. The dispute from the recent election will only trigger the mass exodus of more Zimbabweans because there is nothing left for them in the country. The government is now holding its own people hostage as it continues refusing to issue immigration documents. Zimbabweans would need to work and reside in surrounding countries like South Africa, even further in Britain and Canada. Everyone wants to leave and they cannot be blamed for the fleeing. This is especially the case now as Zimbabwe is currently experiencing its high inflation and basic public service provisions are mainly including schools, not having books, poor access to medication and primary care. With just strong words and reports to go by from the United Nations and the Southern African Development Community SADC, the lack of direction shows, direct action shows a clear governance failure on an international front. But one thing is certain, that the only people who will save Zimbabwe are Zimbabweans themselves. I used to travel to Zimbabwe every summer as a child to visit pockets of families scattered in that region of Southern Africa. It was a picture of beauty. It thrived in a way South Africa could have only dreamed of back then. There was running water, there was electricity, they had the best schools, the best food, the economy was strong, and for most of the part was good. As a South African, I was nervous of Zimbabweans for that, for what they had built for themselves, with the ruling party once motivated by socialistic ideas, but the greedy of its leaders for power and turned one of the best countries into an open-air prison for its people. While its Zimbabweans continue to fight and resist this, the only thing greater than their hope for the change is the grief they feel for Zimbabwe's potential. Beauty Dlamini. Okay, what an incredible article that she wrote. Breaking news. Confirmed SADC to convene extraordinary summit in September/October. Date to be advised. The agenda: Zimbabwe flawed election, Zimbabwe sham election, Zimbabwe rigged election, Zimbabwe disputed election, thanks to SADC, AU, EU, and EOMS. So, finally, the time you have been hoping for is here. Free, fair, credible election. One thing that I know for sure is that Zimbabweans has been prayed for was the lack of bloodshed. We want to change, but one of the criteria that we uphold was the lack, there should never be bloodshed. Because one thing I'll tell you is ZANU-PF was pursuing bloodshed. They've always and still do. Even after declaring themselves winners, they still abduct, torture, and brutally assault people. Bloodshed. When you read the history of Zimbabwe, it shows you the kind of people we're dealing with. And not only are they elders, but the elders are also trying to train their surrogates. The likes of Mangwana, the likes of Farai, the likes of all these young people. I saw an old woman screaming and shouting, speaking vulgar in Harare. And I'm asking myself, is this the society that we want? Where we can't just be human, where we can't just be people. It's a country of mad people, but we are very normal because we allowed toxic politicians to mess up with our destinies. But it's you and me's duty to stand for what you believe in. Though this is what Vashona tweeted. Vashona is a hardcore supporter, a ZANU-PF supporter. He said, so Hichilema is pushing for an extraordinary SADC summit on Zimbabwe. The question is, who is HH? Is just a president of a member of state of SADC, currently chairperson of SADC Troika. Was that the reason why he went to Angola to meet Angolan president, current chairperson of SADC? Why he didn't meet first other Troika members before meeting the chairperson of SADC? It's a shame that some Western countries are putting HH in difficult position to push this agenda. A lie. Again, now America is not being dragged. You rigged the election. You made a mess of this electoral process. And all of a sudden, you think America can wake up and say, oh, we're worried about Zimbabwe in their flawed election? Americans are closing deals as we speak. As a matter of fact, you are the purpose of the worst. You're the one who brought Mayweather. You're the one who brought that guy every time I'm home. I was telling you about Rick Ross, right? Remember, they're the ones who went and brought Rick Ross here. When he came here, he was paid millions of dollars. Who is the puppet of the West here? Citizen Coalition for Change or ZANU-PF? Who is truly a puppet of the West? Now, Nick Mangwana tweeted, he said there is some treacherous lobbying going on by one of SADC member states to have an extraordinary summit on Zimbabwe. So Hichilema has called an extraordinary summit urgently to resolve the nonsense that's going on in Zimbabwe. All right. Extraordinary summit on Zimbabwe. The other members are seeing through this and it's not going to happen. This agenda being pushed by this member state is not its own. It's doing a hatchet job for some powerful nations. Again, we want to blame America. So ZANU-PF is trying to blame America for their shenanigans. Now that SADC is calling an extraordinary summit on Zimbabwe to deal with the flawed election, September/October, the date yet to be announced. Guys, the time you have been praying for is finally here. We deserve nothing but a free, fair, and credible election for a better Zimbabwe. And the right person that will win this election should be the leader of the country. We cannot never again going through this nonsense in our lifetime. This should be the last time we stamp and say rubber stamp. And the date said, not again. We're going to have monuments where we print so our children can see. No politician can ever abuse us or our children or generations after us. Every politician should be a servant. All right. So I'm saying, guys, drop me. Where are you guys watching us from? I can't wait. Drop your location. And don't forget to like the live, because when you like the live, we're going to push algorithm fast. So everyone who is here watching me should go straight to like the live. Let's push the algorithm. And like I said, if you're just joining us, there's a breaking news that SADC members to have an extraordinary summit on Zimbabwe, a flawed election that just happened. It's time for us to free this country. George Charamba tweeted. He said, "It means why? That's, you know, George Charamba want to threaten us. It means why? SADC tisu, isu tisu SADC." That's George Charamba here. Hakuna SADC pasina isu. Asi isu tiripo, taingovepo pasina SADC. Musadyiwe netsanangudzo. In other words, there will never be a SADC Extraordinary Summit. Manzwa, don't be overexcited. Then I asked you the question, I said, so if there's no summit, why are you worried? Why is Mangwana panicking? Why is George Charamba panicking? Why are they panicking? Why is ZANU-PF members panicking? If this SADC issue is not important, why are you panicking? Because you know that finally you're going to be embarrassed. Right? You're going to be embarrassed. Right? You're definitely going to be embarrassed. That's why you're afraid of the summit. But the summit is coming, and Zimbabwe is going to be a free country. Soon, very soon, Zimbabwe is going to be a free country. It's definitely going to be a free country. Now let's look at the trends. Again, the trends are just, again, really about this upcoming election after the SADC meeting, the upcoming election. Now, as I'm speaking to you right now, listen, Nick Mangwana just tweeted a minute ago. He said, attempts by Pan-African Parliament's second Vice President, Dr. Ayerio Gayo from Ethiopia to effect a coup on President Chief Fortune Charumbira during his absence on elections in Zimbabwe suffered a stillbirth. Guy was left with an egg on his face after he failed to get the support that he wanted to topple the legitimately elected PAP, which is the President of African Parliament. Pan-African Parliament, President Chief Charumbira, because he's been fired. But are you surprised? You remember this sexual assault case of his niece and also allegations of corruption. That's one of the reasons why he's being fired. And the ZANU-PF people are not having it like they always. They live in denial. They do not believe that something is wrong with, with SADC and Pan-African Parliament are twins. So the fact that Hubert Angel, your God, you thought he's I didn't even think that he's untouchable. Hubert Angel is untouchable. You also look at Charumbira, untouchable. No, SADC said they are very much touchable. That's why they've been kicked out, which means we are on our way to wipe every dirty out of offices. From there, we are on our way to Zimbabwe. After this summit, there's going to be a free, fair, credible election, monitored, observed, or monitored, or this election should be. By the way, ZEC, there's nothing called ZEC anymore, guys. ZEC is gone, is gone. Now, this election is going to be officiated by EU, AU, and SADC. But ZANU-PF don't want to hear that. Kasukure is trending, y'all. Kasukure is trending big time. He said, our position is that Mnangagwa should not assume the roving chairmanship of SADC News until electoral grievances highlighted in the SEOM final report have been exhaustively dealt with at an extraordinary SADC summit. We are happy with current diplomatic responses to this request. And he put that chair with some thorns. Sir, you're not going to sit on this chair. The chair is got thorns. They're like, you're not going to sit right here. Sir, Mr. Mnangagwa. You can't sit because the chair, this chair, SADC chair, in it means what? In it means you can't sit right there. So, because Mr. Mnangagwa was supposed to chair SADC this coming year, but there is no, that deal is off the chair at the table, because until we have the free, fair, credible election and you are the right president for the country, then you may qualify. There is no way SADC would have an unethical person or an illegitimate leader to lead SADC. It means then SADC is weak. I'm so glad of where this, this story or this issue is heading, because we need to get to a point where it says it's the principle or nothing. And I love the fact that SADC is very resolute in that situation. It's the principle or nothing. But ZANU-PF believes that no, it's the crooked way. No, it is the principle or nothing. All right. It's the principle or absolutely nothing, whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take it or you're going to leave it. Now, Dr. Walter Mzemi, He tweeted that urgent business of the 10th Parliament will be reforms. The 18th continuous absence from constituency rule used against Honorable Kasukire in recent elections is unconstitutional, renders millions of the diaspora stateless disenfranchised. Mr. Dr. Walter Muzambi, he assumed that most of the guys that were in the diaspora wanted to vote for Kasukire. That's why he said Kasukire has to be there on the ballot on this fresh new election that is coming up. It's going to be an interesting days ahead, guys. Interesting days ahead. I want to say to every Zimbabwean, congratulations. The time we have been praying for is finally here. We are very close to the finishing line. We are almost getting through, and it's going to be such an interesting time. And guys, let me just tell you, Jacqueline is a spokesperson for Kasukire. She has been trying hard to go after Chamisa, but we were not having it. And I remember this tweet from Brian. Brian said, your candidate Kasukire's supporters, after he was removed from the ballot, his supporters are looking for leadership and direction. But as his spokesperson, you are busy with Triple C business. What should happen now? She must be concentrating on Kasukire's work. But it seems like Jacqueline Sunday is focusing on Nelson Chamisa. They are trying so hard to discredit Nelson. Nelson cannot be discredited. Nelson is us and us we Nelson. Nelson is me and I'm Nelson. If he does something wrong, I'm going to still tell him. But for now, Nelson Chamisa is us and us, we are Nelson Chamisa. Which means we take him very seriously. His leadership means everything to us. All right. Like I told you that Kasukire is trending. Because, Kasukire was actually in Zambia. As was it like a few days ago, they were in Zambia. They went to meet up with H.H. Hichilema. Hichilema went and meet the president of Angola. Also, again, talking to him regarding what's going down in Zim and this flawed election that just happened. The threats, thank God. ZANU-PF, this one I want to give it to you. I love it when you threaten people that you don't know how they are, because you get used to threaten Zimbabweans. You threaten the wrong people this time. How dare you go and threaten a president of the country? Just because they told the truth. Just because they could not be bought with money. Because according to allegations, Mumba refused the money. He said it's a principle or nothing. You get used to those that are buying 240 million allegedly is per Hubert Angel submissions. 240 million was spared to destroy destinies of many people, Zimbabweans. Because 240 million may be someone's worthy. It may be my only worth in Zimbabwe. And then it means that my worthy, ruined so many people's destinies. Other countries and other men, they are men and women of principles. Who says it's the right thing or nothing? And H.H. Hichilema stood for that. And also Dr. Mumba stood for that. So now they're after H.H. They say H.H. is a nobody. That's ZANU-PF supporters. They're saying he's not nobody. We want him, H.H. to be removed. I don't know. They said, the soldiers must now have a coup in Zambia. A coup in Zambia, a country that is moving in peace. Lung is out and she must be out forever. Let's focus on moving forward in this country and growing our own country. So I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about this coming, new, fresh, fair election that is coming up soon. I want to know your own personal views. Guys, drop your location. Let me send you the shout out right now. Let me send this up. Drop your location. Where are you watching us from? Be kind, be generous, and make sure you like the live. Because when you like the live, YouTube will push the algorithm for us so other people can join us. Please tell me where you are watching us from. Please. Let me send some. Okay, so South Africa. Sorry, Sasha. Hi, Sasha. How are you doing? Are you doing great? What's going on? Which side of South Africa are you? Because I'm in the hood. Which side of South Africa are you? Because I'm in the very same space. I'm in Johannesburg. Where are you? Pretoria. Oh, okay. How is Pretoria? Is Pretoria okay? Sasha Tiani Schwartz. Is it Pretoria? It's Pretoria. Yes, 100%. Where are you guys watching us from? And tell me if you guys are excited about the good news. UK. How is United Kingdom? Shout out Bika. How are you doing? What's happening? How is United Kingdom? How are you guys doing? Australia, Martin, how is Australia? Good to see you, Martin. Thank you so much for passing through. Watching from Zambia. Hi, Chipo. Oh my God, you actually seeing Yichilema. So we have Cape Town. It says, hi, Marsh. How are you doing? What's happening? How is Cape Town? We have NC provinces, Northern Harare. Hi, Tatenda. Are you good? Blessing. How are you? And this Casper here. Best news ever. All right, yes, Andre Chipo, that's great news. Colin Chido from Maputo, Mozambique. How is Mozambique, y'all? How is Mozambique, Colin? Yeah. And by the way, guys, I'm still, like I always tell you, I've got my water here, my lemon water. And I also have a lemon coffee, right? I don't know what you guys are drinking. I know today is weekend. Some of you are having alcohol. What are you drinking? Motare. And then we have, hi, Alfred. We have Bedbridge. Casper, what's up? How is Bedbridge? Casper, you are such a, a faithful member of this family. Christine, what's up? How are you? SA as well. What's happening, Christine? Are you good? Maybe I can have iced tea. What's happening? Are you guys okay? Happy weekend, everybody. Happy weekend. Happy weekend, guys, from Malawi. Hi, Spiwe. What's up? How is Malawi? How is Malawi? What's happening in Malawi? Good to see you, guys. Good to see you. Yay! All of us. Yo, we can't wait. Guys, this this election. I mean, you all know Chamisa is going to be getting nearly 70%. You are much 70, 80%. I think the other person that may take a bit of a chunk from ED will be Kasukwere, but Chamisa will be sitting around 75%. You know it from America. How are you doing? Hi, Owen. I'm doing great. What's up? How is America? Are you doing great? Good to see you, Colin. Good to see you. Lydia, good to see you. Jay Gumbo, good to see you. Malawi is good, but this issue, hey, okay, I know how you feel, but relax. Now we are steps ahead. We are moving forward. A lot is happening, and we should all be celebrating and be excited. We're good, madam. Your accent is heals the pain we're having. Really, thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. So we have privileges. Well, South Africa, Anisu. Marondera, Lydia Johansberg. Oh, good to see you guys. Good to see you. I'm watching you from Botswana. Hey, Orapa. Hi, what's up? What's up? Are you good? How is Botswana? And John is betting on Twitter. Vene shivering. Yes, Vene varu shiva. So Vene is ZANU-PF. They always said tisu Vene venyikaga. So oh my God, this meeting is going to expose us. Definitely ZANU-PF is in trouble. What's up? You're watching us from the UK. How is the UK? What's happening? And then Martin, hi Martin from AU. What's up? How is AU? Manuel from Mozambique. Hi, there's someone who says Mr. M190s. Hi, my wife. Hi. Hi. Oh, someone said hi, my wife. Hi. Good to see you, man. Then Vena Chakanti Nakira from the UK. Bobbin Shitere. What's going on? From Mashingo, Shipunza, Edmore. Hi, what's up, Edmore? And we have Jaden. We are back in the house room. Yes, you are. Hi, Jaden. Jaden, what's up? Are you good? Then Joyce Majarira from Pumalanga. Hi, they're watching from Johannesburg. This is Pons, and also Colchester, United Kingdom. Right. Hi, Marco. Hi, Ruby, watching from S. Hi, there, Blomfontein. Hi, what's up? And then from Manisha, with Dixon, Lamini. You guys, are you doing well? How is your weekend? What are you doing, actually? I want you guys to tell me what you're doing. What are you drinking for those that are drinking alcohol? What are you really drinking? Come on. Tell me what you guys are drinking. I would like to know what's going on there. And Chipo Hamandisha. Nyarazo, have you ever had domino theory? If not, I advise you to keep your counsel. I don't know what domino theory means. By the way, guys, happy weekend. Happy weekend to you too. Happy weekend. It's good to see you. Then Tasha, South Africa. Oh, Tasha, Tasha, South Africa. Oh, Tasha, we did kind of Bika. We did the Bika as well. Okay, so guys, that's what we have right now for you. ZANU-PF is going nuts on Twitter. ZANU-PF is going nuts on Twitter. because there's going to be a meeting coming soon. Actually, me, you're meeting today, Rumbi's bed. Like some. Fabi, don't do that. Don't do that, Fabi. Don't do that. Fabi said my network is like ZANU-PF. Oh boy, don't do that, my lady. Don't do that. But it's gonna be cool. Everything is going to be cool. So relax. Do bilateral relations with Zambia matter anyway. Okay, so you call, so this is what Fazema tweeted. She said, you call for a running race. In the middle of the race, you and the ref take turns to trip me over. I fought many times, but I beat you anyway. Even though I won, the race was flawed. So that's what happens. You call for an election, and my perspective. I think Mr. Mnangagwa is going to let go. That's a fact. And like I've always said, guys, Mr. Mnangagwa is not a problem. People are the problem that surrounds him. I'm very sure, like Mugabe, he's also tired. People are tired. You know, people are tired. Issues of Zimbabwe has been going on for too long. And the fact that people are pushing Mr. Mnangagwa, they know they've got their own personal reasons. You know, it's all about their personal interests. You know, it's the issue of looting. That's one of the reasons why people are not willing to let go of these positions. And we're also waiting for the cabinet that Mr. Mnangagwa is going to form. I think very soon, definitely, we are waiting for the cabinet. We're extremely disappointed to see that Mohadi came back to the picture, considering his, pedophile allegations. He was to be found, as part or as one of the vice president. And first of all, why do we even have two vice presidents? That's what I wouldn't understand. I mean, considering our economy is Zimbabwe, why do we even need two vice presidents? Can someone please help me? I may be uneducated enough to know what's right and wrong. Why do we even have two vice presidents in Zimbabwe? Maybe there's something that I don't know. Considering our economy, do we really need two vice presidents there? Do we? Honestly, do we need two vice presidents? Or we're simply just wasting time, wasting resources? And also when I look at Mohadi and I look at Mr. Chiwenga, the two of them, I mean, like, really, guys, with all love, do you really think that there's anything going on there? Right? Do you think, and who's going to be the Minister of Health? That's what we are waiting to see. We are waiting to see who's going to be the Minister of Health. Since Mr. Chiwenga is now another vice president. So we are desperate to see who's going to be the Minister of Health. One for the Blawe and one for the Harare. Yes, Kuda. Yes, you're right. Yes. Yes, Kuda, you're right. We are all desperate to know what's going to be happening. Now that here, this way we are now, and the fresh new elections are coming up, I'm telling you, this is going to be it's going to be a long ride for ZANU-PF. There's no need, but it's been their system. Yeah, I don't understand, why do we need two vice presidents? Because if president is simply to stand by just in case one is out of town, the other one can be a sitting president. And by the way, we have been sitting with one president for the past year, if I'm not mistaken. 2 years, right? Because remember, Mohadi resigned like 2 years ago. So what was the resignation for? And why is he back? You know what I mean? He resigned from work. Now come back. When a company calls you back after you resign, it means that you may be offering something that no one else does not have. What is it that Mr. Mohadi offers that made him retain his post? What is it? What is it that he offers in Zimbabwe that made him retain his seat? Nothing. So is this about leadership? Or is it about something else that we don't really know? I think everyone is asking that question. What is this about? Is it about leadership to lead the people of Zimbabwe? Or there is a hidden agenda? Anyway, very soon the hidden agenda will unravel. So Alfred said they're very desperate. So Alfred, you're saying they're desperate. They're desperate for to keep the post. Guys, this is iced tea. It's iced tea. Like I told you, it's a bit, because it's a lemon tea plus more lemon. So it's a bit, yeah, sour. But God is good. It's a bit sour. So you guys, what do you think is the reason, number one, of bringing Mr. Mohadi back? There must really be a reason. There's no way they would just bring Mohadi. There must be a reason. There definitely has to be a reason why they brought him back. And also Ostalos is trending, guys. He's trending. So they said definitely there's hope for Zimbabwe. Some are wishing they had not walked through that path. Ukatina zevamu busiku unenge uchingodai zuva raregera kubuda nekuti unoziva zvichaitika. Some are wishing the SADC summit to take place in 2027. No! SADC summit is going on soon. As a matter of fact, it's supposed to going on this September/October. We're just waiting for the actual date, but it's soon, because if we have to have a rerun, that rerun must be done soon. While the wounds are still fresh, we want the rerun soon. Hi, Rumbi, watching you from Maputo. Today was a good weekend watching soccer. Oh, and how was soccer? Yeah, I haven't been watching soccer in a long time, but not this time. One from Bulawayo is okay because Sid was for Joshua Ngoma. Oh, I see what you mean. But you know, we are having a lot of problems as we speak right now. So, and then the other, honestly, they admired everything about Mugabe. Oh, by the way, guys, don't forget that Miss Mnangagwa got doctorate yesterday from the University of Zimbabwe. So she's owning now 5 doctorates for philanthropy. The last time I checked, I've been doing a lot of philanthropy work, guys, to be honest, but I never got no doctorate. I don't even have no doctorate at all, but I don't know how much work I should do for me to have a doctorate. Anyway, guys, something that pops out yesterday when there was all this family of Mnangagwa at this doctorate function, there was a maid that they came with, right? I'm Shona. I'm Shona. There was they brought a maid together with the family as Mrs. Mnangagwa were being, kept for her doctorate, so quote unquote, and brought this lady, it was a maid with the uniform. I want to ask you a question. Do you think it's fair for you guys to walk around with your maid in a uniform that she used at home? Do you think it was fair for the president's family to bring a maid from home to a function while she's wearing a uniform for her job? Do you think that was a good thing? Because many people were nuts on Twitter that they felt like she was being oppressed. What is the point of bringing a person wearing a uniform, to a function? If I've got a house manager in my house and maybe she's using, the only reason why she's using a uniform is so that she can do her work properly, But if I have to go outside with her for a function, I expect her to wear her clothes. But the maid for Mnangagwa's family, ED's this family, she was wearing a maid uniform at a function at the University of Zimbabwe, and that really hurts a lot of people on Twitter. And I wanted to know, some of you have got house managers, some of you actually house managers, and which is an incredible work. That's an incredible work. So if you're a house manager, or you do have a house manager in your house, do you think it's fair for her to wear a uniform going with you to functions? Or she should wear also a dress like any normal person? Because at the end of the day, all she needs to do is just help you carry a child. Uniform, of course, you may need it at home so that she can do her housework, but no, you're outside. What is the point of her wearing a uniform? Do you think that was a good idea? But it went nuts on social media. I would want to hear your opinions, because it's for me, I feel like if you're a house manager, the moment you're going outside, you must wear your clothes, your ordinary clothes. There's no need for you to take a uniform. There's no need. Right? There's no need. What is it? Mr. M. Wama 90s. Okay, 90s, the Bentane. Mr. Day, Bentane, stop being naughty right there. Don't be naughty. Don't be naughty. All right. Guys, whom are you going to prefer, Ostalosi or Mugwadi? Ostalosi or Tafazo Mugwadi? Tell me who is your favorite, guys. I'll go with Ostalosi. Mugwadi is contaminated. I thought you're a black American. Your English is good. Oh, thank you very much. I'm Zimbabwean. I'm Zimbabwean, full-time Zimbabwean, but I speak English most of the times, but I'm Zimbabwean because of my work. So let me tell you my story. So I came to South Africa when I was only 20 years old. So immediately, because remember, Zimbabwe is more dominated with your mother language. So I was really speaking more of Shona than English. So when I came here, I was stuck because I didn't know how to speak Zulu. I didn't know how to speak any other local language. So the only language that I could speak was English. So I was damned in the midst of working with only West people. I was the only black person. So I think that's when I picked up an accent, and also just speaking English all the time, you know, because you have nobody around you who could support your mother language. Nobody was there to speak Shona with me. So I was stuck really. That's why my tongue is very fluent in speaking English all the time, because that's what I do. So please just bear with me. But I can read Shona, I can speak Shona, I can speak Shona. It's just that when I'm teaching here, I find it easier to express myself when I speak English than when I speak Shona. Then do not devote a food to my language. I love this tweet that was sent out by Lumumba. Lumumba said, "Dear Nelson Chamisa, guys, you know what happened yesterday in Parliament? I think I ran that story when people were busy singing, you know, calling Nelson Chamisa's name. Nero should be around here. He's the president of the country. I'm going to have my own bit. Nero is the president of the country. Chamisa is the president of the country." And he said, no matter what they will say about you, today or tomorrow, those voices, that front line led by Ostalos and Joanna Mamobe, vamwe vacho, Antivazive will be the reason your story shall never be forgotten. They will forever be scripted on the tables of many Zimbabweans' hearts in generations to come. And to those young people who made into parliament, give them a run for their money. Even those of us for the other side can't help but feel teary and proud of you. Seeing you in there is the most feel-good moment of the day for me. Above all else, never forget what you have been doing in there. It's not a place for kufeka go nekunwati. To the Triple C tribe, you have every reason to be proud of this moment. Salute and head bowed. It's true, guys. These people have gone through the most, but Triple C people kept on hanging on, believed in the movement. And to be honest, guys, I want to say to every person, whether you are a member of parliament, you may be a councillor, any person who definitely has been rallying behind Nelson Chamisa, that includes me. I want to say to you guys, well done. You know, guys, I remember old people, young, move around cities, preaching the word of change, encouraging people to register to vote. Forget about what Zek messed up with your vote. What you must do is you need to be proud of yourself. You did incredibly well. Rombiko, you any other to congratulate you in? No, don't worry about that bika. Don't forget kuti vana vanobika tsamba, anoziya, vanobika tsamba. They specialize in cooking letters, vanhu. Focus on the upcoming summit that's going to grill Edie and his buddies. Has it getting on national sports stadium? That's unfaithful. Yeah. Don't worry about that. One thing I'll tell you is that, yeah, well done to us. Yes, we did well. Jay, we did well, incredibly well. I mean, it hasn't been an easy road, but we did. We did so well. I say a fun cartoon. We did so well, guys. It hasn't been an easy journey. Some people worked tirelessly trying to make sure that they suffocate the movement, but we stood firmly resolute. To everyone, I know a group called that are praying for Zimbabwe. Incredible sisters that I used to pray with on Twitter. I want to tell you, I love you guys because you did incredibly well. Incredibly well, guys. You prayed for the country and you're still praying, because what we want is divine intervention. We want a free, fair, credible election that will really going to help the right, correct leader that will lead our country. We are not prepared to go around with all this drama that we are seeing right now. That's not the Zimbabwe that we want. So Triple C family, I am super proud of you. So someone says Zimbabwe did not come on a silver platter. You're right. But right now, we are going to stand in what we believe in to make sure that we have a better Zimbabwe. You know? So guys, I'm super excited right now. And I can't wait for you guys to actually see, also to take part, because I can't wait to also vote. This one here, I'm not only going to vote, I'm going to make sure I guard my vote. You know? And that my vote is counted. I'm definitely going to make sure of that. Guys, you've seen a guy that was assaulted by ZANU-PF thugs. And I sent in a message, I said, sometimes I wonder how people even sleep at night, love their wives and extended families, raise children, laugh and eat after hurting others. Zimbabweans, are we a normal country? Seriously? This has been going on for decades. Really, something has to give. Is when we spend our time, thank you very much, Munya, is when we spend our time hating each other, assaulting your brothers. Diabolical. We need to be a community that believe in love. Always stretch the wings of love. Spread love. Always. If you can spread hatred, you can spread love. If you can hurt, you can love. It's a choice that we have to make. You know, sometimes circumstances can force us, but we have to always be standing for what is right. By all means, championing for peace, for love, and for unity. So someone said, ZANU-PF is a devil. The other person said the so-called majority of no evil and had no evil. Worse than this went down in Matabele and during Kukurahunde. I think our people are making one mistake of pretending like they don't see the wrong that is happening. And the other person said Zimbabwe is an abnormal country. Zimbabweans are pretty much abnormal as well. We are a damage to people. I feel like we are damaged, especially when someone is being hurt next to you and you don't even say anything. Like, how do you leave your mother's house, driving your car to abduct your brother, assaulting your brother, injecting them poison so that they can die? I mean, and how do you even sleep at night? How do you wake up tomorrow? And this, what shocks me the most is some of these are actually fathers. You are someone's husband. You are someone's father. You are an uncle. You are a brother. You are a nephew. And, you know, how do you even raise your kids? How do you even love your wife? What kind of principles are you instilling in your children if you don't even know how to love your own people? I think that's what worries me the most, that we have such a community that is broken to a point where they don't care anymore about the next person. We've become a selfish community, you know, notwithstanding, you know, where we came from. As long as I eat, as long as I've got a nice car, I buy myself a nice car, I don't care if my relative have eaten or not. No, we need to start spreading love, sharing really love, and you know, take care of our people, our brothers, our sisters. Very, very, very important, y'all. Very important. And I'll tell you, I wanted to know where you guys watching from. Drop your location. Some of you just joined us right now. Drop your location. I want to send this shout out before I close, please. Just tell you how much I love you. I want to send you some shout out. Please drop your location. I'm pumped right now. I just want to share some love with you. I just want to tell you how much I love you, how much I appreciate you, how much you're amazing. I want you guys to know that you are so special and you deserve some love. So please, come in your numbers, drop your location. I want to send you some love. Shout out! My break is over. Bye for now. I love you, Kuna. I love you so much. God bless you. Oh, you're amazing, Kuna. Just go in and conga. You know, always my dad used to say, you go in there and conga. Go in there and conquer. Go in there and win. Go in there, you can't fail. Go in there and win. You know, so I want to encourage you all the way from Liverpool. Hi, Liverpool, UK, Jaden. I hope you're doing incredibly well. And good to see you once again. Good to see you. Yeah, one thing I want to say thank you to all of you guys. You've always been such a, you know, a pillar of this show. You always encourage me to do better. You coming here and share with some love with me. It means a lot. I'm deeply appreciating you. I appreciate you so deeply. I want you guys to know. Postmasberg, NC South Africa. Yes. Hey, how are you doing? Blessing. Good to see you. Good to see you, dude. Good to see you. Oh my God, I'm so happy. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Good to see you guys. Good to see you. Oh man, watching from Canada. Hi, Yang. What's up? How is Canada? What's happening in Canada? Are you guys doing well? It's good to see you. Thank you very much for coming through. It means a lot. I appreciate you deeply. I appreciate you deeply, guys, for coming through. It means a lot. I love it so much. Fear made us weak. These oldies are turning our country to their own property. Yes, 100%. Like I said to you, we must play it smart. You see, wisdom is profitable to direct. Look how Hichilema played it. Very quiet, poised, calm, but calculative. He was in Angola, actually, requesting an urgent meeting for Zimbabwe because people are tired. We can't have a country where we hate each other. You know, we need to love one another. Something so important about love. Hi, sister from Pretoria. Hi, Natasha. Natasha, what's up? How's Pretoria? Are you doing great? What's happening? I like this. I'm councillor who refused to hold the Bible. They know the truth. I love that too. Beck, I love it. I saw it and I spoke about it yesterday. He refused to hold the Bible, watching from Botswana, Gaborone. Hi, Sitle. What's up? How is Botswana? Shout out. Thank you so much for coming through. I'm super excited that you're here. It's good to see you. Good to see you, man. How is everything? Are you guys doing well? Well, a lot is happening right now and we are super excited. And by the way, I told you that the issue of Mr. Mnangagwa High Court waterfalls. Oh my God, you seems to be like you are in the hood. How is waterfalls? Oh no, waterfalls is actually okay. The one in Zimbabwe was confused. Waterfalls. No, I was confused. Waterfall and waterfalls. Waterfall is South Africa. Okay, they say there are all allegations of dealing with drugs. That one who refused to hold the Bible. Okay, okay. Oh wow, that's interesting. So he's a drug pusher or what? Alleged drug pusher. We don't know. And oh my God, from Arad. Hi there. What's up? Are you doing well? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Thank you so much for coming through, guys. Thank you so much, guys. I feel so blessed just having you guys. I feel so blessed having you guys. It really means a lot. I'm so excited. I feel so blessed. And I want to send some shout out to you guys and tell you how much I love you and care for you guys. What are you drinking? What's happening in your end? Are you drinking alcohol? Are you in the club? Because I know for those that are clubbers, you may be in the club. I'm not a clubbing. I'm a church girl, so. But if you are clubbing, what's happening? What are you drinking from Gweru? Hi, Ostina. How is Gweru? My mom is in Gweru, actually. So I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy to see you guys. I'm so happy to see you. All right. Hi, Rumbi. How about a show every evening? We should love to log in. Oh, I'm gonna do that. I will try to do that 100%. I'm definitely gonna do that. So let me plan. So make sure that I'm there on time. I can have, and also the camera people. So please note that it's going to take me a little bit. I want it to really be done professionally, like professionally. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm kind of slow. So I'm asking you guys, please understand that something is happening. Oh my God! I'm just reading, an article. A tweet that has been sent by Nick Mangwana. He said today the UN Secretary General, Mr. Antonio Guterres, congratulations Emerson Mnangagwa on his re-elected as President of the Republic of Zimbabwe. The Secretary General noted in his letter that he was looking forward to the continued cooperation between Zimbabwe and the United Nations in an ongoing implementation of the United Nations Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework 2022 to 2026 in order to accelerate development and ensure inclusive and sustainable economic growth, gender equality, human rights, and climate action in Zimbabwe. The Secretary General acknowledged in his congratulatory letter the efforts of Zimbabwe to advance the political participation of women. He encouraged the president to promote gender parity in cabinet and senior appointments. No, man, praise God. I'm not buying it, because now coffee all the way. Yes, please, we need more for sure. The way you interact with the audience is top notch. Oh, thank you so much. It means a lot of blessing. Thank you. I appreciate that. So you know what's so fascinating is that while we are busy dealing with SADC, that's just pop in now. This breaking news that SADC is saying nope. We are calling in an urgent meeting to resolve Zimbabwe's situation. Now, all of a sudden, there's a letter that is circulating that a UN secretary is congratulating Mr. Mnangagwa, even after all these flawed elections, flawed observers who have literally, write reports to SADC. Not only SADC, but AU, African Union, did the same too. EU, European Union, did the same. And then you are telling me that UN is congratulating Mr. Mnangagwa for winning an election. No, we know what they do. It's just try to counter, the kind of aroma that is there right now, because people are laughing on social media, especially Twitter, and ZANU-PF are so upset. They are very angry. Just hearing people saying it's enough. We want to have a free, fair, credible election. Now, after after Nikki tweeted this tweet, he said there is some treacherous lobbying going on by one SADC member state to have an extraordinary summit on Zimbabwe. The other members are seeing through this and it's not going to happen. This agenda being pushed by this member state is not its own. It's doing a hatchet job for some powerful nations. This is trying to kind of silence the masses because people are saying, that time is here. This extraordinary, listen, the summit is called Extraordinary Summit. Not only the summit, Extraordinary Summit. An ancient extraordinary summit that has to be done soon by SADC on Zimbabwe. And Nick Mangwana is trying to talk you out of purpose. He's trying so hard because the embarrassment is real. No one is going to take the money. And they get to listen to people's response to his tweet. These are kinds of issues above your comprehension. I would advise you to stick to schools opening dates and national hero funeral arrangements updates. They are busy mocking Nick Mangwana. Forget about this. This is not your thing. SADC and what's going to happen regarding Zimbabwe in the Florida election is not your part. You focus on stick to schools opening days and national hero funerals. That's your job as a spokesperson, right? That's your job. Okay, someone is asking me where did I get that? It's everywhere. I'm actually going to dip the links there. I'm going to leave all the links for you to go in and see and read. And then not Norma said a whole president in the secretary, I said PS who writes gossip. Is this the position of the government of Zimbabwe, or these are products of your very fertile imagination? So people are asking, what are you talking about? Because you're actually lying. Nick Mangwana is lying. I'm going to drop the links for you. Definitely, when I'm done with the live, when I have to get in there to check in the live, I'm going to drop all the links. I can't do it when I'm speaking right now, but I'm going to do it for you. And then Paul Muchewa said, deal with it. A SADC meeting will be held, whether you like it or not. The SADC meeting is coming soon. And Chaka said, next year SADC countries can decline the EOS. By the way, because Mr. Mnangagwa was supposed to be the chair of SADC this coming year. That's why this meeting has to be done urgently. Because then the right president for Zimbabwe will be the chair. No, the right person that people vote for will be the chair. But Mr. Mnangagwa was supposed to be the chair. You know, if he won this election, like if the election wasn't if the election was free, fair, and credible, yes, any Zimbabwean president was supposed to be the chair in SADC. So, and as Susan said, you are lying to yourself. Wait and see the end results. You are too playful. You were telling Nick Mangwana, who's trying to talk people out of truth, saying that no, it will never happen because we're going to do everything in our power to stop it. He's now saying that some people in SADC are not agreeing with this agent meeting. No, they do agree. As a matter of fact, because people they can come to Zimbabwe and tell you like we are together, but behind your back they're talking about you. That's how leaders are. Who doesn't know that Zimbabweans have suffered? Who doesn't see the exodus of Zimbabweans from Zimbabwe to other countries? Who doesn't see your torture? Who doesn't see how many Zimbabweans are in exile? Who's not seeing that? Most of African leaders, they know it. They've seen it, they've witnessed it, they didn't hear it, they know. So for you to even think that they will stop this meeting, they will want to say, come on, let the meeting continue. Out of 55 countries in Africa, in SADC, only 3 attended your presidential inauguration. That could have speaks to your volume. They preferred to go to a meeting in Kenya and disregard this inauguration. That could have actually show you that they are not playing their mini business. They're saying it is enough. And Jewel, she's actually a supporter of ZANU-PF. She said, what end result? Do you think HH has any power to what should happen in Zimbabwe? Of course, he has the power. They have the power. You are not saying they don't have the power because you are used to abuse people. And I remember this girl, she's the same one she went after Kasukire, claiming that Kasukire benefited from the system, which is the system of ZANU-PF. Why does he want to run as an independent? This is the same girl called Jewel on Twitter. Now she's coming and said, what end result do you think HH has in power to what Zimbabwe to what should happen to Zimbabwe? 100% he has. That's why they were being summoned. And Susan said, for now we leave you to think you know everything and you in control. Come back in a couple of months to come. You shall see that there won't be any position for you. Zimbabwe will be a different country because the free and fair elections will produce completely different results than what we have right now. And then Chiratizo say, funny thing, if it has no effect, why is it bothering them so much? Because also some people, I told you, George Charamba is also going nuts on Twitter. Vashona is going nuts. These are hardcore, ZANU-PF supporters. There's a Professor Ferreso too. They're going nuts like, why is this summit has to be done? It has to be done because there was a flawed election. That's why it has to be done. Zimbabwe is an exile. As we speak, some were abducted. As we speak, Promise Mangwana is out on exile. When are we going to have a better Zimbabwe? When are we going to have a Zimbabwe where we need to focus on important issues than just hating each other, chasing other people out of the country, arrest that person, no, call that one, beat that one, no, silence that one. I mean, what kind of a nation is that? We need to build the country. And we cannot afford to lose destinies of many just for the few. Guys, you have eaten, you have collected, you have taken land, you have got houses all over the place. You have taken monies, you have stuffed all the money in foreign lands. You have got your children are living large, you are living large, you have collected everything, you're still looting. What more do you want from Zimbabweans? Their blood. Give Zimbabweans a chance to also live like you do. And Dr. C said, she was laughing. My streets are kuspaka. Inga maiti sadaka isi chinwani. Famba mumba famba. Famba mumba famba. You know, we need an extraordinary summit. ASAP SADC news. Faka pressure. Someone who was asking me, okay, I want you to go to Twitter right now. For those that were asking me, where is the link? Go to Twitter right now and go and check in with Nick Mangwana. You know, he's the spokesperson in the president's office. Check in with George Charamba as well. It's everywhere. The summit is everywhere. The summit is everywhere. It's known right now that there was going to be an extraordinary summit called on Zimbabwe soon in regards to the flawed election that just passed, because SADC must be a free, fair, credible election. There was never an election in Zimbabwe. Not, guys, there was no election in Zimbabwe. It was just a farce. And then Bingo said, why are you scared? If you're confident of your innocence, allow the process to proceed and expose their hidden agenda. In fact, you should have requested for that yourselves as an aggrieved party. Kuyo huku yabatwa ne gondo amuteruki. Sorry, guys, please, I struggle to read short, but please, please. But yeah. So the truth of the matter is there's going to be a summit. So great news, guys. Can't you see these are good news, guys? I've always been telling you, God will come through. God works in mysterious ways. You know, he makes a way where there seems to be no way. That's why he's God. You know, and when your minds are done, when you end, that's where he begins. So the situation in Zimbabwe, it just needs to be put in the God's hands. And you must be grateful that H.H. Hichilema is a God-fearing man. Dr. Mumba, a God-fearing man, which makes me caution the kind of men of God that we have in Zimbabwe, e.g. Makandiwa, Magaya, you know, all those pastors who are surrounding that you can't rebuke wrong when you see it. You know, now we had to be exposed to Dr. Mumba, a God-fearing Chilema, to be out of this mess. Considering that we have men and women who are claiming to be of God in Zimbabwe, the church could not sit down as elders, our community, and really face ZANU-PF head on and said, let's fix the country. You failed to do that. That we have to outsource counsel. It is very sad. It is really sad to watch, right? It is very sad. I was expecting our fathers and our mothers to stand up and stand so that we can have a better Zimbabwe by playing their part, right? We cannot outsource counsel when we can be able to build the Zimbabwe that we wanted. Together we should. We don't have to outsource counsel. Let's learn to be a Zimbabwe that believes in rebuking each other. Ndapiwa now pa live pa chat ed arikuva here pachigaro mama. There is an upcoming meeting, right? So really, it's definitely is pursuing the rerun that there must be a free, fair, and credible election in Zimbabwe. So that's where we are right now, and we are hoping and prayerfully, really, that comes to pass. We want to see a better Zimbabwe. All of us, we need a legitimate leader. We cannot carry on with this polarization and really dealing with young, old people. I'm sure, guys, with all respect and love, I don't think they're capable of resolving our current situation in the country. We need men and women who understands how to run this ship in a very professional way and really who works hard and who understands our struggles and also who knows how to respect our resources and to manage what we have and also living below our means. There's been really quite a lot of purchases of things that we don't even know, that we don't need in Zimbabwe. And like whenever I think about Zikopo, and I'm talking about my helicopters, my helicopters, airline. Can someone here online can tell me today if kana mune hama yakambo lift to hospital? Kana mapurisa bakambona achilenda achisunga vanhu. Considering the kind of use that we have right now, did you see anyone? Did you see any where these kopo went and fly in and landed to help Zimbabweans? No, but they're alleging that they spent 320 million buying them. I mean, who does spend such a lot of money when we have no medication in no hospitals? That's why I'm saying we need men and women who are conscious in decision making, who really have a heart to save our people, heart to make sure that we have a better Zimbabwe, than people who just focus on what are we getting? What am I getting? Am I getting money? Am I happy? No, we don't want people like that. No, we want real leaders. And I think free and fair election will afford us to do so. And there's no need for us to really think it's not a personal vendetta. No, it's not a personal vendetta. We want free, fair, and credible election that will make Zimbabwe a better country for all. That is definitely just what I think. I don't know what you guys think, but I personally pursue free, fair, credible election. And I'm so glad with the route that SADC is taking to make sure that we resolve our issues. It's unfortunate that some people think that people are on their side. People are not on their side. They are not. So I'm having iced tea, guys. Iced tea. I don't know what you guys are drinking. So like you saw breaking news. Some people are saying, where is it? Go on Twitter right now. It's all over the place. I said people must understand the time and they start believing in God. 100%. I love that. Prosper. There's a tribe that I love so much, and I've always been using this tribe every time I teach. It's called a tribe of Issachar. The Bible speaks about so many tribes that were in Israel, but there was such a unique tribe. It was called the tribe of Issachar. The Bible says it was the smallest tribe in Israel, but yet very successful. Why? Because they understood the times and the seasons. The problem that we have in Zimbabwe is people don't understand the times and the seasons that we are in. Things have changed. The ZANU-PF is still hold on into their old strategies. What they don't realize that things have changed. Things have changed. You know what I mean? People don't realize that things have changed. We really in 2023, and it's about time that as we understand the power of times. People are used to do wrong, but what they don't realize that the time God is saying it is enough. I want to make sure my people live the best life that I've called them to do. And that's why you and me, we are here, and we should all be very excited and support SADC. Prayers up for those that are praying right now, praying for this nation. We want to make sure that at least God comes through for us, divine help up to the end. We need God to give men and women wisdom and also to change the hearts of our fathers so that they can see the pain that is in our people, so we can have a better Zimbabwe, and for you and for me. Guys, I've had such an incredible time with you, and I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. And if you just joined us, I want you to drop your location, because I want to send a shout out to you before I leave. I really want to tell you how much I appreciate you guys. Drop your location. I just want to say to shout out, and then when I leave, we can meet you tomorrow morning. Then those that kopo from Jang. Exactly. So I'm going to say cheers to the meeting that is coming. Cheers. We are following. We can't wait to see what's going to happen. We are following it very closely. I cannot wait to see what God is going to be doing. I'm following it closely because I'm desperate to see Zimbabwe great again. I love you guys. I love you so much. And thank you for hanging around with me, guys. It means a lot. I feel so blessed to have you around. And I want to tell you, you are special. And I will see you tomorrow. I pray that you have a happy Sunday tomorrow. And for those that are still that are behind us, in America, whatever, I'll tell you you're special too. And hopefully that you're enjoying your day, and see you tomorrow. God bless you all, and God bless Zimbabwe. Thank you.